Hello and welcome to Point of View. This is the new Land Cruiser. This is the 2018 model. This, let's say, style on the outside and the inside has stayed almost the same since 2009. There have been some minor refreshes, but all in all it's still a Land Cruiser, and more importantly it's still a tool. It's this go anywhere, do anything kind of vehicle. But as you might all know, the SUV market is booming right now. There are so many choices out there. Does the Land Cruiser still have a place in the market? Let's find out. What has changed for the 2018 model year? Well, new headlights, taillights, some bumper designs. Actually, the car is a bit longer due to the fact that the bumper has a new design. Now on the inside, new tech stuff have been added. The Toyota safety sense systems are now available for the Land Cruiser as well. Blind spot assist, adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning. If you don't get the standard version, which is the luxury version in Estonia, you get most of the stuff as standard. New sat nav, new screen, new stereo system. The steering wheel has also been redesigned. And if you sit inside the cabin, you feel like, yeah, this is actually a nice place to sit. But then, if you spend some time with the car, you'll start to notice things that, well, let's say aren't very good. The biggest thing in my mind that really disturbs me. You hear that? It's one of the worst pieces of plastic I've seen in a car, I don't know, for ages. The materials all around aren't that bad. I mean, most of them are soft touch. I really can't complain, but then they let it all down with this piece of, I don't even know what to call it. It's just awful. It's flimsy, and if you touch it, it's hard and ugh. The leather seats, the quality feels more like Lexus. It's really quite nice. The buttons feel chunky, and if you push them, you get a nice feedback, and it's not flimsy at all. And then you look at the cubby hole down here, and oh dear, it's all just full of plastic. It might be good if you have soft things you wanna throw there, but most likely you wanna put your keys, your mobile phone. It will rattle around like hell. Spec it out, it's around 60,000 euros, maybe a bit less. And if you get the cheapest version, yes, you can have it for 48,000 euros. So it's not a cheap car, and to find these kinds of plastics, it's just unacceptable to me. I want to point out that I actually like the car a lot, so just hear me out. I want to talk about the bad things first and then about the good things. Actually, this isn't a bad thing, it's just a thing I noticed. When you get the executive version, you will get ventilated and heated seats as standard, which is a great thing. But the buttons, well, they're from a Lexus, which is from the mid-2000s. That's a long time ago, 13 years ago, and you still use the same buttons? Really? There are two versions I choose, the Executive and the Executive Plus, which offers some technology upgrades like navigation, JBL stereo. I think I wouldn't actually opt for that because the system isn't that good. I mean, how often do you use a sat nav like this anymore? I mean, why even would you? Because you have your iPhones and Samsungs and whatever. They're like a lot better than this one. I think that the executive version is the most rounded Land Cruiser you can buy. It has all the kit you want: adaptive cruise control, bi-LED headlights. You get a screen, as I said, leather seats, heated and ventilated. You get blind spot monitoring. One thing I actually quite like is the full 360 degree camera system. I haven't seen this sort of system anywhere else, but you can set it like so that when you stop at a set of lights, the system comes on automatically, which means wherever you are slowing down, it just shows you the front view and the 360-degree view. Oh, and one more thing about the option choices. If you get the Bob standard version, you don't even get parking sensors. I mean, seriously, this is a very big car, and you will need the extra help when parking this car. So just trust me, you want the more expensive version. It's like 5,000 or 6,000 euros more than the standard version. Just pay the extra, please. About the engine and gearbox combination, it still has a diesel engine. In some markets you can get the big V8 petrol. In Estonia it's diesel all the way. The 2.8 liter, well, it's like a tractor. It's not a bad thing because it sort of suits the car, if you know what I mean. And the gearbox is slow and unresponsive, but again, it doesn't need anything fast because it is a slow SUV. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 12.7 seconds. That's seriously slow. But if you buy the car based on the acceleration, you're missing the point completely. Am I bothered that this is a really slow car? No. Why would I? This is a Land Cruiser. It's not supposed to be fast. There is a low range gearbox. It has locking diffs, second gear start, hill descent, and it's this go anywhere feeling that really makes this car what it is. You sit up high, you feel like a king. It's not a cheap car, but looking at its rivals, it's actually not that bad, and it's one of the cheapest you can buy in this class anyway. It's comfortable. Oh, comfortable. I haven't talked about that. The suspension is so smooth. You could run over a smart car and you'd barely notice it because it has really chunky and big tires, 18-inch alloys, but they look very small under this car, and all of this means that you're just floating around, not feeling anything. I think the main rival is the Land Rover Discovery. It is prettier, but spec to spec, it's around 10,000 euros more expensive than this car. The Land Rover is definitely more luxurious, but this isn't bad either. If you look past those plasticky bits, it's not that bad actually. So let's try what's this thing like off the road. The snow is actually quite deep around here. As you can tell, it handles this thing with ease, no problem whatsoever. No problem at all. Now, taking a look at the boot. There isn't a handle here, the handle is here, and the boot opens like this. Isn't this old-fashioned, huh? No dancing foot opening in this car. The boot is ginormous. You can have this car as a 7-seater. This particular version is the 5-seater. If you have a big family, well, why not? Because as you can tell, there is space here for 7 seats easily. My camera gear fits without a problem. To close it, you have to use some force. This is a mechanical thing, so no just slight pushing, it just won't close. You have to really use your force. Sitting in the back, as you can tell, there is plenty of room. I'm just gonna hop in This is my driving position. I am 178 centimeters tall and there is loads of room back here. I feel like I could live in the back of this car. And if you want, you can set the back seat just as you want. Even like this, I can slouch and sit comfortably. You have a nice handrest with some cup holders. The seats do fold flat, of course. There isn't even a question about that. You see, this is the key to the Land Cruiser, and as you can tell, it says Land Cruiser on the key, so it's not a regular Toyota, it's a Land Cruiser. Anyway, this car has keyless access, but I have to mention that only the front doors have sensors. The back doors are just pointless. Step inside the car. You don't need to put the key anywhere, just press the brake and start. One more thing I forgot about the interior. This car has a fridge, a full-on fridge. Now for pure off-road use, and if you want some luxury, this is most likely our best bet out of all the cars out there. If you get a Q7 or a BMW X5 or any other so-called posh off-roader, for me it would be wrong to just climb on board with muddy boots. It just doesn't feel right. In this car it's acceptable and you should do it. In the resale market, the cars that are, let's say, 8 or more years old in the same body style as this car still keep more than 50% of their original value. That's stupidly good. Not many cars can do that. So, does this Land Cruiser still have a place in the market? Yes, of course it does. It's a brilliant off-roader that has some luxury bits to it. It's capable as a all-day, everyday car. You can take it off-roading in the mud, in the sand, and then take your wife to the theater. It still fits. I like this car. So yeah, thank you for watching. This has been my review of the 2018 Toyota Land Cruiser. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think. There will be new videos coming soon. And yeah, see you again guys. Bye.